So 5.3 part 2, we're going to learn a new way to factor. So that is factor by grouping. So anytime we have 4 terms, so in our example here, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. This is a polynomial with 4 terms. We want to factor by grouping. So what we do is we group the first 2, and then we group the second 2. And we take out a greatest common factor from each group. So in my first group here, I have x cubed plus 2x. What would be the greatest common factor? Do both of them have x to the third power? No. They both have x to the second power. So I would take out an x to the second power. So I divide both of these by x to the second power. And then in my parentheses here, I have whatever's left. So that is x plus 2. And then in the second group, what do they both have in common between negative 3x minus 6? A 3, but I always have to get what I have left in the parentheses to be the same thing, so I would take out a negative 3 here. It'll make more sense once we start to do examples, but this one's already done for us, so I'm just walking you through it. So then in our final answer, we put what we took on the outside together, and then we combine what we have left over on the insides as one of them. So we put the outsides together, then the insides go as one. So we'll do examples. So factor by grouping. First thing I want to do is group the first 2, group the second 2. And I know here I had to factor by grouping because I had 4 terms. So anytime you have 4 terms, we group. So in my first group, what's my greatest common factor? X squared. So I'm going to take out an x squared. So an x squared goes on the outside. What am I left with on the inside? Bless you. X plus 3. Awesome. Bless you. Because if I have 3 x's and take 2 away, I'm only left with 1. And then here the x squareds cancel, so it's just 3. So x plus 3 on the inside. In the second group, what's my greatest common factor? 4. So I'm going to take out a 4. And then what am I left with when I divide both of these by 4? X plus 3. So notice how in both of the groups we're left with x plus 3. That has to happen in order for us to factor by grouping. So that'll always happen. But if it doesn't happen, then maybe you took out the wrong number, so you just have to think again. So then we write our final answer. What we took on the outside goes together in one parentheses. This will be x squared plus 4. And then what stays on the inside, so it'll always be the same in both of these, goes into the other parentheses, so x plus 3. And then this is our answer. All right, so again, we're going to factor by grouping. So group the first 2, group the second 2. What's my greatest common factor in the first group? X squared. So an x squared goes on the outside. What am I left with on the inside when I take out an x squared? X plus 2. And then in the second group, what's my greatest common factor between 5x and 10? 5. So I'm going to take out a 5. And what am I left with when I take out a 5? Perfect. The 5's cancel, so I have x, and then 10 divided by 5 is 2, so x plus 2. Now, how would I write my answer? Perfect. Whatever's on the outside goes together in 1, and then my insides go together as 1, so x plus 2. So that's the answer. All right, what do you think I have to do first here, Alan? Subtract 20. We want it to be equal to 0 for us to factor, just like it always is. So it has to be equal to 0 if we want to factor. So subtract 20 on both sides. So I have x cubed plus 4x squared minus 5x minus 20 is equal to 0. What do I do next? So I group the first two, group the second two. What's my greatest common factor in the first two? X squared. So I take out an x squared. What am I left with? X plus 4. What's my greatest common factor in the second two? Negative 5. So we take out a negative 5. What am I left with? X plus 4, because a negative divided by a negative becomes positive. If you were to take out positive 5, our parentheses wouldn't be the same. So it has to be a negative 5 that we take out. So then how would I write my answer? Perfect. X squared minus 5 and x plus 4. That's the answer. All right, what do I have to do first here? Subtract 2. So I have x cubed plus x squared minus 2x minus 2. What do I do next? Group the first two, group the second two. What's my greatest common factor in the first group? X squared. So I'm going to take out an x squared. What am I left with when I take out x squared? X plus 1. Because think about it, if I go back and distribute this x squared, I need that 1 there, so I would have x squared times x would be x to the third power. X squared times 1 is x squared. If that was 0, then x squared, it would just go away, and I would only have one term. But I need that 1. What do I take out in the second group? Negative 2. So what am I left with when I take out a negative 2? X plus 1. Awesome. So how would I write my answer? Perfect. X squared minus 2 and x plus 1.